All right, guys, so this is my frame, and I painted it with well, I've been grinding on it all day. I mean, not all day, for days, and I'm just continuing at it, just grinding it down. But I just used this stuff, and we got all the major stuff off, right? And we used we also used oven cleaner, the heavy duty stuff, in a yellow bottle. But we have pretty much got this axle clean, which was pretty dirty. We're not even planning on using it again. Really, mostly it's about our frame. We have the leaf springs here. We're doing a leaf spring drop, but so what we'll do is we'll swap the axle out. It'll be on top. I have very little room, which is what it is. You know, I'll probably have to C-notch the truck. But what I was saying is we grinded it down for days, and in these little spots that are real hard to get, I put that Rust-Oleum stuff in there, and it turns white. And I got to figure out my next step. You know, I was hearing that you could wipe it off, sand it down, all that stuff. I really don't want to paint in here yet because I'm going to move these leaf springs out, and once I move the leaf springs out, I'm going to sand a little bit better in there and all of that. But some of these spots are real hard to get, and I sprayed it in there, and you know, it turned some of it black, turned some of it different colors, and just got to figure it out. What's going to come next is the power wash. Okay, maybe a power wash with some soap, and then I could paint it after I dry it really good, or maybe I sand it down a little bit more. But I do like how that stuff got in there in the hard to get spots in here and stuff. And you know, you're getting to that rust, you're treating that rust right there, any rust that's in there. And it even takes off the grit. Right here, I never really worked this, but I just put this rust remover on there. And I'm pretty sure after I hit it with the power wash, a lot of that's gonna come off. Power wash and Dawn soap and get it dry real good. And then I'll be able to paint it. Again, I'm not going to use these axles for very long, but you know, like just me, who I am, it irritates me to have dirty shit. So I put that rust remover. I scrubbed these suckers down. First of all, I grinded everything down. Then I put that rust remover stuff on top of it. You can see it inside of the cracks. I know they're drum brakes. I'm not going to keep them. I don't want to keep them forever, you know, but for right now, a lot of times what I've learned when you're building these cars is you don't go, I'm gonna get disc brakes, and then you never move on. You gotta use what you got, and then after that you can move on. Okay, so there it is, and the truck is here. I only was able to go up to this part of the truck, okay, and get that done. My bed is right there. After I finish this, I'm gonna put this axle swap, so the axle will come up here. Probably have very little distance to ride on, but it's all good. Eventually C-notch it, and just see how it goes from there. Well, it'd be nice if I do keep these leaf springs, which I'm not a crazy fan because everybody's C-notching this shit anyways, is I'm gonna get a longer one of those, so it gives it a 2-inch drop. So the leaf spring will give it a 5-inch drop, and then this sucker right here, this shackle, I think it's called, replace that. What really bothers me is I'm not a super old school car guy, and I haven't been around for very long, but in there, so once I undo this shackle, I'm gonna clean all in there. A lot of that rust remover was really good inside of these joints right here. Just get in there and painting it and start to kill that rust, that surface rust. This is what me and my boys have been doing, and yeah, it's my project, one of my projects, and my homie's building my 6.4, and I'm building the C10. To me, it's just easier to deal with it in my head. Of the C10, it just seems more minimal to me. So I'll do this, and then I'll move on to the front, and yeah, buddy.